Welcome back to Live, Work, Stay with Billy Kay. We've turned it up a little bit. I'm going to be interviewed today by Emmy Award-winning newscaster and features editor for the Low Country News, Mark Shaffer.
All right, thanks very much. All right, we wanted to talk a little bit more about the Boundary Street project because it's the one thing everybody's talking about in town besides the Sound of Freedom.
That's right. Boundary Street is like the Henry C. Chambers Waterfront Park. Mm-hmm. When people built it, when the Mayor Chambers wanted to build it, a lot of people in the community didn't want it. They look at it today and they say, how could we have not wanted it? It's like the Spanish Moss Trail. For 10 years, people said they didn't want it in their backyard. Today, I think for this generation, it will be the equivalent of the Henry C. Chambers Waterfront Park. Beaufort is a quaint, beautiful, authentic little city, and it deserves an entrance, a gateway to our city that reflects what we have. Rather than seeing lots of small buildings, some in disrepair, stores out of business, what we need is to have a grand entrance. But it's based primarily on safety. We have lots of accidents as you enter on Highway 21. It's based on the environment, reworking our stormwater so that we don't further contaminate. The only body of water in northern Beaufort County that's contaminated, which is the headwaters of Battery Creek. And it's to give us the dignified entrance. So some people say it's only going to be 3 lanes. No, it's going to be 4 lanes. Some people say they're going to be traffic circles. No. Traffic circles we got rid of. Some people say the medians are going to be impossible. The medians are going to be different, but we're having additional stoplights or traffic signals and wider radius so that people can make U-turns. So what you'll see is all the power lines will be underground. There'll be 2 lanes of traffic going each way. There'll be grass and trees and then a sidewalk so that you don't feel like you're walking in the middle of the highway like you do right now, where we've had accidents. And then there'll be a planted median. On the south side, the long-term plan, which we've started with in a partnership with the Open Land Trust and Beaufort County Rural and Critical Lands Board and the city partnering, a 3-way partnership, is to take down some of what we'd call the dead buildings. The Sea Eagle Market, fortunately, we helped them find a place across the street. They're going to be bigger, they're going to be better, they're going to have a restaurant.
Yeah, great move for them.
It's a great move for them. Huddle House is closed. Corporate said they will never open it. The private owner is selling it. The United Way building, they've outgrown it. They don't have enough room for parking. So that will eventually come down. That leaves the convenience store, gas station, and Wendy's. Met with Wendy's, drove to Columbia, said, I think we can get you a spot at an intersection with a light, which is going to help the in and out. But they didn't want to do it. So time will tell. Eventually, the old fire station and the service station will be gone. And we'll take that small Civil War Battery Saxon Park and make it a passive park. So I think it's going to be slam dunk beautiful, but like when you renovate a house, it's painful. It's inconvenient. I know people have been inconvenienced, and I know some of the merchants have struggled. What we have to do is just move as quickly as we can. And I think that in mid-August, when we open the new intersection by McDonald's, and it's landscaped and the new lights are there, people are going to say, hey, something good's happening.
It's going to feel progressive. Let's talk about that. We alluded to this in the last segment, maintaining some smart growth while your population demographic shift. Recently started to work on the technical corridor. How do you balance tourism versus tech in this?
Well, I think that's very important. My very close friend and roommate 40 years ago is the mayor of Charleston. And I spent a good bit of time in Charleston helping him campaign. And his theme was Charleston's become a world-class destination, but it's no longer the best place to live. And so we're smaller, the scale is smaller, so I think we have to be very careful. I use the formula of a third, a third, a third. If a third of the people are here, at least a third of the people are here, and they're going to work, and I see them in a coffee shop, or they're having a business meeting. A third of the people are retirees who having coffee on their way to work for the United Way, for Historic Beaufort Foundation, Open Land Trust, CODA, Kappa, and the Minute Symphony, all the other organizations, and then a third are tourists. But we've got to keep that balance. And my interest is trying to increase the quality of tourism, not just the quantity. I know that we get tourism money for filling beds, and I want to do that, and I want hotels to be successful. But I'd like to have more for people to see, more for people to wrap their arms around, to understand who we are. When I became mayor, history really meant big oak trees with Spanish moss. The Beaufort History Museum has reopened and seems to be vibrant. Santa Elena has come out of the ground very quickly as a destination, pointing out that people were on Paris Island in Santa Elena before they were in Jamestown. We're working with the Department of the Interior on trying to create a reconstruction monument or reconstruction district. I'm working with, this is the 80% of the time.
Sure, yeah, this is the 80, yeah.
I'm working with a wellness official, expert, to try to build a wellness program so people could come to Beaufort for a week or 10 days, stay in a hotel, stay in a bed and breakfast, stay in a short-term rental, ride their bicycles, walk through the cemeteries, kayak and canoe, use Life Fit at the hospital. But Beaufort would be known as a place to go and to get fit.
A wellness destination?
Wellness destination.
You're seeing the future of ecotourism there.
Well,
wellness tourism.
It would fit with ecotourism,
Sure,
because you would be out and about. I want to make help to the extent a mayor can, the USC Historic Campus become more vibrant by partnering with other schools, with expanding the art program. We did a pilot this summer with Sewanee. They brought a group down here for what they call a Maymester, and Dr. McCardle, who also lives in Beaufort, but is president of Sewanee, wants to expand that. I went to the Mystic Seaport Center, where Williams College runs a program. They bring students from all over New England to study. Students from all over the Southeast could come and learn about, I call it a humanities destination.
Yeah.
Could learn about our history, learn about the Civil War, learn about Reconstruction, learn about Santa Elena. Meanwhile, the visual images that Beaufort has that are unmatched by any.
We have certain things like the film festival, which continues to grow by leaps and bounds. A lot of things that attract attention from the eyes around the world to Beaufort.
That's right. We have, I go in the lobby of the film festival. I always go to the opening and many of the events. And I'm surprised at the number of people who come from all the way across the country, plan their vacation around coming to the film festival, plan their vacation around coming to the water festival, plan their vacation around coming to the Gullah Festival. Last year we had our first humanities festival where we brought in people.
And you broadened the whole idea, the whole scope of the humanities festival. How did that work out?
Well, it worked well. The idea and the challenge was, could you get the respective museums, arts, cultural organizations to work together? So often nonprofits are bickering and competing. And I believe that when they all work together, they all grow and achieve. And I think we demonstrated that. We had a luncheon at my house where we had all of the coordinators from the 21 organizations that participated, and they want to make it an annual event.
It should be an annual event.
It should be an annual event.
Call attention to all sorts of things.
So the balance is what we have to be careful of.
I know we have a little bit of time left, and I wondered, going into this election season, a lot has changed in 8 years. We're maybe as polarized as we've ever been as a nation, and yet I get the sense that we're not getting a lot of that here yet.
No.
How do you maintain stability in this?
This year, well, I think it starts with my council. The way we work together, we have our work sessions, we talk to each other, we never challenge each other's love for Beaufort. We appreciate others, the diversity of backgrounds and how we may disagree, but it's all done with respect. But it was interesting because this dark cloud that's hanging over the world today, just last week, I saw it pierced 3 times where sunshine came into Beaufort. The first was a group of young women who were starting to do regular events in the park at the Northwest Quadrant. And I walked there and I saw a big banner and it said, "All Lives Matter." I looked to my left, there was a police officer playing basketball with the kids. I looked to my right, there was a police officer throwing a football with kids. I walked under the pavilion, and there was the chief of police and his deputy chief sitting down talking to people. We're getting to know each other. And to me, that just pierced the cloud of hate and mistrust as I watch our community and our police interact. The second was the Water Festival on Motown Monday. The Water Festival, historically, as Beaufort was a segregated community, was a community where African Americans didn't feel welcome. You know, everybody thought the Gullah Festival's for black people, the Water Festival's for white people. That's changing fast. Motown Monday, at least a third, probably a half of the people were African Americans, and it was mixed. And as I looked out on the dance floor, I saw the hands in the air. There were black hands, there were white hands. Everybody was having fun. Not one incident, not one incident. To me, we pierced the cloud and the sun shined in. And then, like also Water Festival, was the celebration of Michael Swinton, a disabled African American who for 30 years was a volunteer for the Water Festival, who passed away. And they memorialized him again, piercing that cloud, shining a light. Beaufort's a very special place.
Yep.
I give our military, and the 100 years the military's been here, a lot of credit for helping us through times that others didn't have, because we had classmates, new teachers every 3 years. So the diversity in Beaufort is very strong, and I think as mayor, I tell people I love my city, I speak from my heart, I tell the truth, and I admit mistakes. And so that's what I plan to do the next 4 years.
All right.
If
Good
I'm
luck.
given that opportunity.
Good luck. Thanks for having me.
Well, thank you, Mark.
All right.
Thank you for joining us with Live, Work, Stay with Billy Kay. We'll be back in a couple of weeks.